I made the game in 4 days. And yes, it's a theme now. I'll join jams every month. This time, it's JamGam.io edition. No, I didn't just misspell the title of the jam. Anyway, the purpose of the jam is to create an easy and enjoyable prototype of an IO game in 5 days. I was confident that I would finish the game in only half the time because I was starting to get comfortable with Flutter web development. That is both true and false for this jam. Since I learned my lesson, I will plan my game, not in text form but on a mind map. Planning the game itself is kind of useless and a waste of time because 1. I never looked at it ever again once I finished it. 2. The finished product is not close to what I planned. Anyway, here's the plan. Have the player enter a random lab specimen with 0 stats to its immune system, hence the game's name, Animune.io. After that, let the player consume the essence of the specimen's cells, or else over time they will lose their life, hence the game's theme, Time 2. That's the summary. Were you expecting a bit more? Well, that's your problem now. After several hours of planning, I started coding the conventional stuff. I added a playable area size to a landscape 16 by 9. I made the game resize according to the screen size. After that, I coded the player, the joystick, and the hourglass. On the second day, I tried centering the player at the start of a round. After that, I added the player's nameplate. Doing both of those is not what you're supposed to start with when composing the gameplay. Guess what? Centering the player is even worse than centering a diff. So is centering the player's nameplate. As a professional, it took me 5 hours to do both of them at the same time. By the third day, I coded in the main menu, which is the last thing you're supposed to do when making a game. You can tell the theme here. I'm doing everything in the wrong order. After that, I experimented with making the game feel as IO as possible by randomly spawning bots. The first and second attempts aren't that good since they make your CPU scream in pain while crunching your RAM sticks. On the third attempt, I gave them their colors and nameplates. I then made them despawn every once in a while and teleport elsewhere to illustrate that they are somehow moving and we are operating in a $1 a year enterprise server. On the fourth and final day, I procrastinated because it was only hours before I submitted the game early. I added those cells with their sweet essence, but then I struggled with adding the circle collision algorithm because I used the wrong variables each time I attempted to. That added another set of hours wasted doing the math. Since the gameplay is in place, I added the sound effects which were first too loud. I needed to waste more time adjusting their volume. After that, I added a brief text-based tutorial and compiled the release version for the web. After submitting the game, I got a lot of feedback about how fast everything was and how buggy a lot of stuff was, so I had to fix them all. I know you're not supposed to update the game while the voting is ongoing, but guess what? It's allowed. If you are curious, I ended up in 10th place in the overall division. Animune.io version 1.0.1 is still on itch.io, so go check it out.